Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert training. I'm your host, Leandro Mala, and in this video we're gonna see how we can communicate PLC in the Machine Expert with HMI in Operator Terminal Expert via Modbus serial. So let's go to the presentation. So the idea basically is to connect one of the PLCs that we have in the EcoStruxure Machine Expert, for example this tree, to one of the HMIs that we have in the EcoStruxure Operator Terminal Expert. In order to do that, we can use any of these cables that we have over here to communicate via Modbus serial, and we can connect into the RJ45 port of the Modbus serial on the PLCs. Okay, this cable, and then connect it to the RJ45 in the HMIs. This is just an example, and in case of the M241, bear in mind that we have two ports. One is the terminal and the other one is for the RJ45. So now, if we don't have the cable or we want to know more about the cable, this is the distribution of the IOs, okay, the pinout of the cables. Okay, so you can see it. Okay, so basically we need to use three pins, 4, 5, and 8, okay, in order to make the communication via Modbus serial. Now, this is the example that we're going to do. We're going to configure the PLC using those parameters that we have in the screen, and also configure the HMI to have those parameters. And in this case, the PLC is going to be the slave in the communication and the HMI will be the master. So if we go to the software of the HMI, just go back to the Operator Terminal Expert, going to create one application here, new project, here, and I'm going to use the HMI ST6 400. Okay, so wait for this to finish. Okay, so I'm going to change the target here. Okay, 100, and now what I'm going to do is to add the drivers. This is something important. When I was doing this, I was checking that the driver, this Machine Expert network, is only available for Ethernet communication. So if you want to communicate via Modbus serial, it's not going to be possible because it's just Ethernet. So what we need to do is to define a Modbus serial. So we need to manually add the variables from the Machine Expert into the Operator Terminal Expert in order to make it work. So we just need to add this here. Okay, we can specify over here PLC underscore M2XX. This will be the name of the PLC. Now the equipment settings will be the address number 1, addressing mode syntax. This one is fine, there is nothing else to check in here. What we need to do is to check on the communication ports that we have on the PLC, on the HMI. So the COM1, if I'm not wrong, is the one that we need for RJ45. No, it's the COM number 2. Okay, as you can see here in the right part, we have the RS for 422 and RS 485. Okay, to work control here, we need to specify the modifications here. Let me just go back to the presentation. Here, 34800, event, and 1. So if we go back over here, and event 1. So this part is already done on the HMI side. Okay, we have configured the hardware. Now what we need to do is to go to the Machine Expert to configure the PLC. So if we go back here, this is the application that I migrated from the M221. As you can see, we have all these variables over here. So what we need to do is to go to the device tree. Let me just modify this view so you can see it. Okay, there we go. So we go the device tree, and the device tree we have the serial line 1, for example, for this M258. What we need to do is to delete this Machine Expert. Okay, so we just delete this. Here we can modify baud rate, priority event 81. Now what we need to do here is to specify the address. So here we have this. Modbus Manager. Okay, we need to add the Modbus Manager into here, and in the Modbus Manager we need to specify that the PLC is going to be the slave. You have master and slave, and in our case it will be a slave, and here we need to select the address. Okay, so once you have the address, we need to check that on the other side the address defined for that specific PLC is the same and it matches. Here, cell line even one, we can check the data is okay. So this is one of the things that we need to check, that the configuration of the port of the Modbus communication is the same for all of them. Okay, and remember that one must be the master and the other one, well, we only have one master on the network and the other one must be the slave. So that's the important thing of the configuration here. So let's go back. Now we have some GBLs. Okay, now in order to add this information over here, we just need to go to the Operator Terminal Expert, go to variables and add all of them manually. So this can take too much time to do it. So I have come up with an Excel file in order to do this much easier. So let's go back here. I'm going to show you the Excel file. So basically this Excel file generates txt file that allow you to easily import the variables. So I'm going to clean the table. Okay, here in the equipment name we just need to specify the name of the device that we have already defined here, PLC underscore M258, which is the same as I have, and then the folder name. So in my case I have memory bit. So if we go to the Excel, I'm going to specify memory bit. Now we need to copy and paste the variable from the GBL. So I'm going to use from here and from here, there's no need to the other ones. Copy and paste the variables over here. And you can see on the right part, it just creates the structure to be used. So I'm going to create the txt file. Okay, so I'm going to use in the training. I'm going to save it in here. So variables machine expert, going to save this file. Okay, it's going to be a txt file. So now I'm going to close this, save. Now on the machine expert and the operator terminal expert, what we need to do is to go to variables, here, import variables. Let me just find the folder. So this is the folder. Now the file that we have created is a txt file. So what we need to do is to select txt, select the variables, the file that we have, wait for this to finish, and there we go. We have all the variables already imported. Now the idea is now to show you how to import this, show it that it's working. So what I'm going to do is to create just a small visualization for this. So let's start by adding tool chest, toggle for this. Okay, current value variable. Let's add there is one that is alarm. Okay, alarm and alarm 2, just to show you how does it work. Okay, so I have created these two variables. Now let's try to download to the PLC the application. Okay, here is connected. Have the user. Okay, yes, I want to complete the load. Just wait for this to finish. Okay. Administrator. This is my case. These are the default ones. Okay, just wait for this to finish. Okay, and play. So we have the memory bits over here. And the idea is to access to these ones. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is to download this to the HMI. So let me just show you this view. That is the HMI. So I'm going to download it. In order to download it, we just need to define how we're going to download this information. So here, function Ethernet 1. I'm just going to specify the IP address, just in case. This one is 64. Transfer method is going to be USB. Okay. Save the project. The next tab. Just making it fast. Okay, saving project. Now it's going to be downloading this to the target. Hopefully. I didn't make any mistakes. Okay. It's downloading. Okay, as you can see there, it's downloading something. Okay, close. Just wait for the HMI to reboot. Now we need to pay attention to these two variables that we have already shared with the HMI. Let's see the behavior. So you can see this one is already on because the variable is on. So I'm going to change this one. You can see we have the communication via Modbus serial. And this one, I believe, is something about the logic that we have. There is already activated over here. Okay, that's why. Okay. So what we have seen today is how we can make the connection and how you can easily integrate the variables from the Machine Expert into the Operator Terminal Expert. So I will share the Excel file so you can easily do it. Remember, we need to configure the hardware part and then define the variables that we want to share with the HMI so we can easily make the integration of the two software. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.